Welcome to the Locker, Season 7, Episode 27. I'm A. White along with my man, Van House. On Van's favorite, what's this, your favorite season of the year? Ain't that what you say? This time of year is your favorite time of year? Football season?
Thank you. No, I don't know. Football
No,
season.
you always act like it's track, man.
Dude.
Don't change up now.
And that's what I'm about to say. U20s, World U20s took place today. So I watched track for half of the day. Then I had to go to football. And now I'm here with y'all. So yes, I got football, I got track, and I'm going to get WNBA too.
You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us.
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
This ain't really no big deal, man. What are you taking about this LeBron James trending?
What happened?
He's nothing. Chris Paul's coming back. And I thought you wasn't a Chris Paul fan.
Chris Paul's coming back to where? Philly?
76.
All right, dude. I think, man, why am I so low? I think we all know, most people know, that I'm a Laker fan. When Kobe Bryant had his indiscretion in Denver, Colorado, guess who came to the Lakers that year? Karl Malone and Gary Payton.
Uh-huh.
Why would you bring Chris Paul to this team?
Chris Paul got infidelities? Or
No. Chris Paul has a personality that I don't know if all those players on that team can handle.
You know who do like him? You know who likes him a lot?
Bron.
Okay. So what else matters?
Yeah, but when you got Maxey and VJ and Jaylen Brown,
we don't have I mean, if you're just gonna run a gun, at some time you do gotta have somebody who can control the tempo.
So
you got position players. You gotta have somebody that can.
So Ant, tell me this. I'm gonna think because you just sent me for a loop. I'm gonna look at their Philadelphia stats last year.
No, Tyrese was running the point. I mean, like I said, we had a point guard in high school. I was thinking you really don't have to have a point guard, really, but in certain games you're gonna need to have half court sets. You're gonna need to have half court systems.
So this year, riddle me this. Who's gonna be in the starting five?
Maxey, Brian, Jaylen and Brian. Brian will have to go to 4. Jaylen go to 3.
Okay.
Joel.
5.
Maxey 2.
Chris Paul 1. VJ. Are you gonna put VJ on the bench?
He can mentor him. Whatever. It don't matter. Like Brian's not coming off. Jaylen's really not coming off.
And is not Bron gonna run point?
I will say this is what I think. Tell me, there's gonna be certain points in the game. Jaylen Brown is a scorer, not a shooter. Brown is a scorer, not a shooter.
Right.
At certain points, people just gonna give you the shot and dare you to take the shot. So you're gonna have to have somebody like Chris Paul who can. Well, not Chris, but you're gonna have to have a distributor, somebody who can facilitate and get the defense off balance.
Where do you see this that Chris Paul is coming back? Because I'm searching, I don't see it.
It could be fake news.
I don't know. I was at football practice.
No, I thought I seen
it. It does. Oh, I got a Facebook say he's. No, this is last season.
It could be fake news. I'm trying to find it. I don't look at it a whole lot.
Nope. You be right.
It could be fake news.
No, this Facebook says sign a 1 year, $3.9 million.
Yeah, that's what I seen. Yeah, 1 year, 3.9.
but I only see it one place. I've only seen it on Facebook. I don't see no one else.
Right.
If ESPN hasn't reported, it ain't true.
Yeah, now that's true. Now that is true.
Or if Shams haven't reported, it ain't true.
Yeah, now that is true. That is true. And like I said, it really kind of wouldn't make sense. But I don't know, man. I think they're trying to keep Brian relevant on his way out.
And the 76ers just got old if they bring both of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But as Vondre said, it could be depth. If it was the case, it could be depth.
And I can find.
Chris Paul has always been a coach on the floor.
And
now
I have
been a coach on the floor. And
this is my deal with bringing Chris Paul there. Chris Paul is a dog. He is, to me, a Hall of Famer. So it's not that he's not good. For me, though,
he's not old either.
And I wouldn't even mind him at his age. My problem is, unless Chris Paul, and it's not a bad thing, Chris Paul personality, though. If you heard from any of his teammates, Chris Paul demands.
I don't think it's true anyways. Like you said,
I
didn't look it up. I just had something pop up on my phone.
Okay. So, but Chris, this is good to talk about since it's not true. If it's not true, Chris Paul brings some energy to this ball club that I don't think they can withstand.
You mean bad energy?
No. Not all energy is bad. Chris Paul brings a type of energy that rubs people the wrong way. Some people.
Like Jimmy Butler.
Right. That is a great. Not Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is the dude though that you don't mess with. Well, what's that dude that was Jiu-Jitsu Johnson, who played with Wake Forest with T? Can't think of his name. Like, you don't mess with him. You don't mess with dude that played at Florida, that played at that's Heats, the OG at the Heats. What's the boy that played with Haslem?
Yeah, Haslem.
You don't mess with him, right? There's some players you don't mess. That's Jimmy Butler. You don't mess with him. Chris Paul gets on your nerve. You know who I picture of Chris Paul as John Stockton. Like just they're not bad, but they demand a certain, and some of these young players can't do it.
I don't want to go there I don't want to go on our history tangent again.
Uh-oh.
These are locker rooms. I don't want to go off because we've done that a couple shows. Do you know Rich Gannon personally? Not personally, but
no, I don't. No, I don't. I don't know anything. I know Rich Gannon.
That's exactly what reminds me of what you trying to say. You heard the stories I done told you.
Yes.
Like he's a dickhead for no reason. And I think you think it's leadership. I think you think it's leadership. But I'm just kind of like, I'm young. Yep. You should be grooming. Everybody else is trying to groom me. And I'm not saying me personally, whoever. But if you feel it's okay to destroy some young up-and-comer because you done got a second chance, like you should, like, I don't know if you think that's good leadership or not. And I say this because the vets didn't fool with him.
Right.
Tyrone didn't fool with him. Tyrone didn't fool with him. So, like you said, you can't really deny whether it worked or not when you got people on your level or above you, like, because like I said, like, what was that happening? Was it Olympics when LeBron came in the locker room, was telling everybody what to do, and they looked at him like, hey, look, man, you don't run this. Austin, that's Olympics. You don't remember that? LeBron
was it could be, though.
Everybody trying to pump him up. And I was looking like, look, man, we all stars, dog. Like, this ain't your team. Like, you don't get to control the environment. You remember that? It was
I don't.
All-Star game or the Olympics practice or something. Like the Olympics when they finally got their team together.
Okay. Kobe was on
They might have walked out while he was talking. You
know? Oh, damn.
I think they walked out while he was talking, or people just weren't paying no attention. Like they was just to their business.
Damn. Yeah, I look.
No, I don't know about the Halloween party.
Oh.
No, there was something about a Halloween party.
I would say this.
You know, it's funny. I just watched that Martin episode where they tried to Gina was trying to throw him a surprise party. Cole, Tommy, and Pam had already had a set up in Nipsey's.
Right.
And so Gina, like, man, they're like, no, we can't fool with Martin, man. Marty, he just throwing hints everywhere. Yeah, I don't know what y'all going in there do, but I'm allergic to coconut cake. And then the day came down, Gina like, where's everybody? What's the surprise? I mean, we just gonna have a party by ourselves. I just want to have a little no, damn that Gina. Where my boys at? What they said you get on their nerves. They all down in Nipsey's. Yeah, man. That might be. I didn't know. Maybe I vaguely knew about it, but damn. It's something to think of. You might be that kind of guy, but I can't see you having a party because you wasn't a bad leader, but I think
I was an asshole.
People the wrong way. Yeah,
I was an asshole.
Yeah. But you meant to be. You didn't feel like.
That's just.
I think your mindset was never like mine, but I think your shit was like, if you don't want me to talk about you, don't do nothing to talk about.
That's just me. Look, and here's, boy, it's just crazy how we go on these 10. Here's the crazy part about, man, and you know this. Everybody know this. I'm not in your business.
Right.
I'm not trying to. I'm solo dolo 99% of the time, but when we get inside another field house, another center, wherever they call it, it's all business, and I'm trying to win. You don't like it? I'm sorry. Now when we get outside another field house, I'm a different dude. I'm like, see y'all later. I'm going to the prison, but in that another field house, do your shit, do your job. And if you don't do your job, you're probably going to hear from me.
And I think in a sense, and like I said, I think in a sense, if you let that bother you, I guess there's something to it. Like, I ain't never been a really likable guy. I've been an appreciated guy. Like, I ain't gonna hang out with him. But that's I know fair. I can count on them. But I know
that's fair.
But and like I said, every now and then, if I do, like I said, all the young cats that play with us always still fool with me or whatever. But it, like I said, it's just kind of, I don't know. Like, then you got different kind of assholes, like just different kind of asshole leaders. Like,
yes. Look, dude,
you got to think. Hold on. Let me say this real quick. Because you got to think. To me, in that room, Reggie Russ was a quiet leader.
Mm-hmm.
George didn't have the cachet, but he did his part. Like, he did come. Keo Wilson was a quiet.
Yep.
George was the one who. Well, actually, all of them was quiet. You just always was just fucking around, just giggling and making fun of people, which is fun to me. But because I think about Lehman was quiet. What's the other one? Who's the other one playing on the other side?
What do you call those?
Los was quiet. Like George was the only one who,
Steve Hall? Were you in there with Steve?
No, Steve was like you. Steve was kind of like you. He'll joke, but he'll be like, he was like Tuck. Man, Tuck just didn't stop, man. Tuck just didn't quit.
Oh, see, Tuck was linebacker though. He wasn't in that room.
Now his receiver when I.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Touche. Oh yeah, man. That now I mean, you know what's crazy, Anthony? Like I said this the other day, like it wasn't intentional. It's just who I am, right? It's like me now when I'm coaching, just who I am. It's not me being intentional. But if you ain't doing your shit, I'm not an asshole like you suck, but I'm gonna if you fuck up, you're gonna hear it.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. This about you. Why not? And I don't know if you've changed. Now you're a coach, so you have to be a changed man. Like I said, I found it humorous. I didn't know it got under people's skin, but I apparently got
a lot of people. Yeah.
But my thing is this. It's kind of like if somebody mess up And like I said, you was young. You just a young person. So you was young even when I was young. You was young in age, but you had experience. Right. I red shirted, whatever. Point was, if somebody mess up, your thing was get his ass out there. Get somebody in here who can do it. Why not? not for everybody. Now, he wasn't that type of guy. Now he might joke you off the field like, what the hell was that? Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
But why not? Why not? Even then, I'm saying, what was your mindset? Why not then be like, hey, look, when they do this, man, look, that looks silly as shit. When they do this, give them the inside and set your inside foot so they can't. So now you can set your inside foot aside in case they come, you blocking them. But if they break outside, your leverage is already outside. Yeah. Like, why not help them? Give them a little, take your jab and give them a little tutorial. I don't see you coming back to hey, look, man, this is what I was trying to tell you. I think you just you got your giggles off. It just remind me of if you were to be an older guy, it remind me of at that point in time you go get his ass. Oh, that's what they said to me. When they say that to me? Oh, in Oakland. Get his ass on the field.
No, Andrew, that is what I did.
Oh,
on the field, I gave you advice. When we went to the film room, it was comedy show. Because, like you said, I knew it was coming. So we already talked about it. Oh, I know I have a pretty good memory. I know when the play's coming.
Right.
And I'm just ready. I already got them. I got them lined up.
Right. I got to use the bathroom, man. I got to use the bathroom. Coach, I'll be back.
It was, now looking back, I do it with my high school players. I do it. I crack jokes on them.
Right.
But for me, I really think it's coming out of love. I'm not yelling at you. Because, dude, we have some people who yell at people. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not yelling at you. But I will give you some advice. But it's comedy show when those lights go off and that projector come on. It's comedy show. You know it's coming. Everybody knew it was coming.
Right.
So, yeah, but I didn't know, honestly, and this is how I am. If someone says something to me or I found out about me, I'm going to address it. Like, dude, come on, man. What's up? If someone didn't like what I was saying or doing, they could have easily came up to me. I'm not James Tucker. I wouldn't fuck with Tuck. Because Tuck will hit your ass.
Yeah.
I ain't never fight nobody. So you can come to me and man to man and say, man, can you chill out on blah, 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 and we can have a discussion. I'm not going to chill out, but you're going to know why I'm doing it. At least we can have that discussion. Because I cannot not be who I am. Because then I'm faking it for you. Now, everybody else know, like, I guess Van scared of that. Like, why ain't Van talking about Anthony?
Right.
Anthony just messed up big time. And he ain't say shit. Oh, man. What's up with that?
You ain't say nothing. I am who I am. To me?
Huh?
I said, you ain't say nothing to him. Why you saying
right?
You ain't say nothing with George. You ain't say nothing with George, you did.
So, it's like, if you're going to, and here's the other thing. If I pinpointed you out, then that's wrong. Like, if that was one person, and I did to everybody.
Right.
Like, there was no one off limits. Even Coach Smith wasn't off limits. If you weren't off limits. So, it was equal. And if y'all, look, and trust me, when I effed up, Lehman was on my throat. He was on my throat. So I got it worse. So, I don't know, man. To me, it was fun. And you knew it was humor. You knew it wasn't calling you asshole, but yeah, there are, I know other people who don't like me.
Right. And I'm gonna I'm gonna break. We're gonna listen to UK Media Day and see what you think.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to change my stance.
Oh,
my energy is broken.
Oh,
and it's hard to break my energy. You know who the most loyal zodiac sign on the chart is?
Aries.
Taurus.
Okay.
hard to break their loyalty. If you break their loyalty, one, you ain't getting it back, and you done some stuff because they didn't gave you for. They done calculated enough to know that look, I gotta sever this.
Okay, that's fair.
So my loyalty to what I represent, what I believe in, is deep. Man, hold on. I've listened to it in pieces. I've listened to it. So I'm gonna break down to what you take on it, but we talked about this last week. I think, and this is bothering the shit out of me, dude. I think our injuries I think they're severe. I think we got a lot of injured people. The guys we brought in that we expect to perform, I think a bunch of them are injured, like not ready to play, not ready to practice yet. So not getting reps, not implementing the system, not in installation. That's probably why they don't allow people to see the practice. But now I'm telling you cold if you go on an SEC Media Day, which is probably the biggest watch media day next to, well, I don't know if you're the first team in Kentucky, it may not, but you may be. And you go out there and say, it's on me. Like, it's on me. It ain't no I in team, but it's a me in team.
Facts. A kid told me that one time. I'm like, get there. At a camp. I'm like, dude, shut up. I was in a good speech. And he said, he raised his hand and said that. I'm like, you
don't shit your. So they asked about Nick, and they said Nick is CJ Baxter. I don't know, but he's penciled in to be. I ain't gonna say he's more than penciled in to be the starter. They talking about Jason Patterson like, we may utilize some. If I'm Jason, I'm out the door. Then they say Barnes is coming around. Still, how long has he been hurt?
Yes.
So, hold on. Let me take you to the curb real quick, man. Jason Patterson, he gonna help us out. And Carter, what's the DB that moved over? Martellus Carter.
Carter, yeah. Carter
Martellus Carter is the next option.
And people say,
and I'm not. Hold on. Let me put this on the record. I'm not saying to Martell. I know a guy that went from DB to running back as well. Went back to DB, but I'm saying I'm not saying. But
no,
from the guys we brought in and the hype we got from the guys we brought in, who evaluated these bring-ins?
And this is my thing. I have no problem because some of these players in high school are two-way players. There's no problem with being a two-way player. It was the circumstances for how he became a two-way player.
Right, yeah.
He didn't become a two-way player because maybe he picked off a ball and showed some. All right, man, he might be a running back. He might be cold. Not that. They needed bodies, right?
Right.
And with the bodies, they figure out, he is pretty good at the running back position. Not that he's pretty. That's the problem that I have. Now, let's say this. Let's say they made a mistake with Martell, and he really should have been recruited as a running back.
Right.
I have no problem with it. Still no problem. My problem is now you bring in 2 JUCO players at the end of July.
Yep.
That smells funny. You didn't bring them in the spring. You didn't bring them in at the end of school, like maybe the second week of May. You bring them in a week before fall camp starts. That smells fishy.
Yeah.
And here's my, and look, y'all, we're in the locker. So as we just talked about, I might not be the nicest guy sometimes. So here's the deal, Ant. Let's be honest with this. If you're a JUCO player and still don't have a home at the end of July,
yeah.
There's some concern. Now, you could be overlooked. I might be wrong. I'm just saying at face value, it's a little fishy. And I said I'm concerned about the running back room. And someone said, and I'm gonna tell you, someone said this, and then you can get to you. Someone said this. Well, we so used to having just one primary player and no depth, no S. I'm saying, dude, at the running back position, that's something we have no problem with. We always had depth at running back. We had Benny, C-Rod, AJ Rose, and Smoke in the same backfield at the same time.
Right.
We had JoJo Boone, Horton.
We kept rotating them. We had 3 at all times.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like
3 at all times.
that's the position where we never had a problem with depth. All right, I'm done.
So
are you finished or you done?
So the comments. So in the comments, there's people saying, I appreciate him keeping it real. He ain't scared of him. This is gonna be really good, or it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, if he overcomes all this, man, talk your talk, George. Hey, if he overcomes all this, but hiding it ain't gonna. I don't think hiding is gonna help. But go ahead.
What it depends on what your expectations are. See, some people, the fans who think we're gonna finish 9-3, them are the ones that might be hurt.
There's none.
None what?
They think we're gonna finish 9-3.
Oh, Anthony, 8-4, 9-3 is what I hear, dude. And it's not just from someone making jokes. Hey, here's what I consistently get. We're gonna beat Alabama game 2, and we're gonna win at least 8 games. I'm not saying that's the norm, but I've gotten that many times.
I can't find out where I used to. Oh, okay. There we go. Hold on. All right. So we're gonna go through this. We're gonna pause. We're gonna listen. We're gonna listen, and we're gonna listen, and we don't judge.
You ain't gonna judge.
I'm talking to everybody in this room. I am more excited about practicing football. It's amazing how quickly the off season evaporates, and you snap your fingers and you're right back into football mode. Fall camp, it's all about details and execution of our scheme. That really is where we're building currently, and where we will continue to build throughout the next 30 days or so until we play on September 5th. It is also time to get into playing shape, right? Like I mentioned, summer is about getting ready for practice. Now fall camp, it's execution details and then playing ourselves in the shape for that first contest. There's gonna be a lot of competition out there. I know there was some talk about starting lineups and all that. There really still is no starters. We can project out where we feel like this team is going to be, but I want this team to be as competitive as possible from top down with the roster. Why? Because we have to have strength in numbers. That to me is a key component to playing winning football, especially in October and November where championships happen, is to have strength in numbers and to have winning football from multiple positions. Our process really is our winning edge. When you think about what we do as a program, what separates us from others is our process, how we practice, how we meet, how we recover, how we eat, sleep, plan as a coach. All those are what I am going to double down on, and I'm not going to stop. The process is what makes us different, and really excited about that. As we get into fall camp, there's a few players that I just want to note because I know I'll be asked on it.
I got to mute you because we was getting an echo. Let me take you off. Let me ask you this: so that's all coach speak, which you understand. Let me ask you this. And if you go to the comments, thanks to UK Media Relations for making this public. So we give the rights to UK Athletics, UK Media, which they may not be happy after they see the review. And I'm not saying I don't know, but do you take just first time coach? You give them a mulligan. You think it's okay that your thoughts on the team is written down? Do you take anything from that aspect?
Oh, wow.
Did you not see him? He kept looking down. He was reading pretty much.
No. That's what Anthony, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even peep it. I'm gonna say this.
You genuinely should know what's going on with your team.
Right. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give him a mulligan. I'm gonna say he's attention to detail, and he wants to make sure he addressed everything that was on his mind and he has it laid out. I'm gonna give him that because he does seem like attention to detail. I understand what you're saying though. Like, God, man, I got so many things. It makes you feel like since you said it, it's rehearsed and it's not authentic.
It had to be written down. He ain't making it up on the fly, so it had to be rehearsed. He wrote it down.
So I can understand your angle with that, dude. I didn't even catch it, so I'm kind of flabbergasted because I didn't catch it. I saw. Look, I wasn't even thinking about it. Okay? Question: was this his opening statement, or was he responding to a question?
Part of the opening statement. This is part of the opening statement.
All right, I'm gonna give him a mullet because he wanted to make sure he covered everything that he wanted to cover in his opening statement.
Hey, I want y'all in the comments, and I'm opposite of Van. I'm opposite of Van. I want y'all let me know in the comments. I think he's a new head coach. Nerves. I think it's nerves more. I was giving him his nerves. I don't really care. I was giving him that it was nerves. And no matter how many times you've done something, if you go out on the stage and got to talk. Now, if he's the offensive coordinator and he talk about offense, he spends a lot of time in the offensive room. So he knows, hey, yeah, so-and-so's looking good, man. The dig, right, but we getting the short game is hitting, but like he can do that. I'm giving him nerves for the first time speaking to the public. And I think you saying being careful with his words. I just saying people are saying how genuine and, he's a go-getter. I just hope it ain't tough coach speak. But let me know if you think that Van, that you give him a mulligan and, he was just I think it was nerves. So he wanted to have it written down in case he gets a block. It got like all this is new to him. Go ahead.
All I got to say, Ant. All I gotta say is this. What year would that have been? In 2023, I guess, we hired a guy that was a former basketball player for here by the name of Mark Pope. Mark Pope brought the 96 NCAA championship trophy with a net around it with all his former teammates. And a lot of people said, oh, he's one of us. This is what we've been missing for so long. They gave him 12 months. They gave Mark Pope 12 months. Now, I understand we are basketball schools, quote unquote, and all this stuff, and that is under a brighter flashlight. But let's see how long it might take for Will Stein before they turn on him if he doesn't do what they want him to do. Because here's the deal, Ant. If he comes here in this first year, they're not offensively efficient.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be on his head.
Van, before you go.
They're going to be on his head.
Van, and we talk a lot of trash. And this is crazy, Van. I think when I was in school, we averaged 38 or 39 points a game.
Yeah. You
do realize last year we averaged 24 points a game.
Yes, I know.
It was better than we thought it was.
Yes.
So he gonna have to put up a touchdown per quarter. Gotta be at least 28. It gotta be at least 30.
I said 30, and you thought I was crazy. I said 30. I think, and if you don't average, remember I had to pull up the numbers. If you don't average 30, that's a problem. Now I'm gonna say this: it is a little bit different, because you're missing that extra cupcake game where you can put up 50.
Exactly.
So it gets a little harder, but here's the thing for me, and it goes back, Anthony, to what we said about 8 wins. We won 7 games twice, and people were not happy. So the number has to be 8 because it's 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're not happy with 7, the next number will be 8. So I'm going to put at 8, right?
Uh-huh.
If Coach Stein and Coach
we got to win 5 games in the conference.
Stop it. We'll have to do Common Core math. If that offense is not efficient and Minchie don't put up we talked about it. I said Andre Wilson's second year as a starter. He don't put up 3,200, 3,500 yards passing, over 65% completion. Is it a failure? Or are we upset? Because you should. Because that's the numbers all his quarterbacks have had since he's been an OC. They had, I think, almost 4,000 yards, almost all of them. So
you could put up 21 a game and be better than the last few years. I don't know what that meant. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's do go back to it. I don't know what that meant, Scott, but let's do go back to it. And Vondre, for the damn point of it, ain't nobody first, second, and third of all. Nobody's projecting anything negative. I'm prognosticating. If you are not telling me media don't have access to practice, like real practice, so we don't know who's taking reps, we don't know who's doing what. If you are telling me so the injury, every time he speaks, this person's coming along. All these people that we brought in that are supposed that Van has talked about being starters they are coming along. They have to implement. When Minchie don't know who he's throwing the ball to. Minchie don't know who he's handing the ball to. And if the running back room, here's the shit, Vondre, since you want to open your mouth again this year, if the running back room is not sufficient, is not the strong point, we're gonna struggle mightily. I want us to win. I want us to win 6 games. If we win more, I'm happy for him. I'm going off of what he's saying, and I'm going off of what I'm seeing with the limited amount of things I'm seeing. So all this is boiling down to not no negative projection. And here's the thing, Van Hiles, do you think do either one of us give a damn when we played what any public fan, sports writer said about what they expected me to do? Oh, dang, they said we were gonna lose 8 games. We're gonna lose 9. Right. You know what? I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna win 4 games instead of 3. No, we don't give a damn about that. So me projecting something, you feel like it has some kind of influence on what they said. No, we are breaking down what's being said and what's being seen. The two things ain't matching up. There's people in here, I guarantee you, Vondre, if we had a different platform, there's people on here that's listening to your words, you and Scott, and want to get upside y'all's head. Okay, and I'm Scott, I understand we got a new start, and I am excited about a new start. I also got to be realistic about the new start. Go ahead, Vander. We're gonna get back to the video.
That is interesting that we have not seen Stein's offense yet. So when you say offense,
we average 24 points a game. What do y'all keep talking about? We average 24 points a game with Stoops. I don't understand what y'all talking about.
I don't. Now if Stein comes, because all right, Anthony, this is what I said earlier. This is what bringing a new coach brings in. It brings in irrational excitement, and I love it. Keep it up. I just know what I said is when you bring in JUCO running backs, that's a concern. Is it not?
Right, late in the game.
And I said that this offense is gonna be good if Nick Anderson is your true number 1. Guess who's unavailable? Nick Anderson.
You said that.
Nick Anderson is unavailable. That concerns me. It's not the end of the world, but that's a concern. Okay? So now we both have said on this show every week, we believe in Jason Patterson. It doesn't seem like other people do.
Right.
So that's a concern. Will Rod is going to do what Will Rod does. And I actually think Boyer is going to be better this year too. I'm also concerned about this O-line because now we find out the guy from Ohio State isn't available. We can say, oh, well, it's the same procedure that one guy had and he's going to be with, but he's not with those guys now. These reps are important. And I've said this with Stoops and without Stoops now. The offensive line needs to play together for reps during fall camp to create that continuity. If not, 5 individuals as O-line is not going to be good enough. As the guys we had back in the past was good because they played together.
Right.
So if some of y'all want to blindly just follow it because we finally got rid of Stoops and now we're happy, fine, get it. I just don't see that. Nick Anderson is the key to this offense, in my opinion. It's not Baxter, it's not Barnes, it's not Patterson, it's not Minchie, it's not the O-line. Nick Anderson is the key to this offense. You put him and Will Rod together, it's a problem. It makes DJ Miller's job easier. So not having them right now is concerning. And if you're not concerned, fine. I'm concerned about a guy who had injury problems, still injured. I have problems with Barnes having injury problems. He's still injured. I'm having problems with Baxter having injury problems. And y'all said he was not in spring football. That's concerning. If you're not concerned, I don't know. Those things concern me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I hope this season ain't gonna be one of those, because as much as we tried to support Stoops, well, as much as I tried to support Stoops these last years, and the product was getting stale and dry. I knew more than most people knew as far as his efforts, accountability, availability to the program. I think he did get very lax, and so I was fine with him leaving. Whole point was we was acting like we can do better, and we probably can, but how can we do better than the standard that was set by him, which is fine. So that's why I got up here for you all. The last year's stats, 23 points a game, and I think the year before that, prior to that, it was 24 points a game. And so all this, all we need is 21 points, and you said no 3 and outs. I would love for that to happen. Absolutely love for that to happen. Scott, Johnny, I would love for that to happen.
Hold on, if Anthony, the first game Hal Mumme came in, how many points y'all scored? 50 or 40?
40, I think like 48 or something like that.
Y'all, we are playing Youngstown State. Damn, Liam Coyne came here his first year against one of those schools and put up 50 or something. If you don't put up 40 or 50, it's a problem. It's a problem. If you don't put up 40 or 50, I think it's a problem. It's concerning. See, now, Scott is trolling.
Stephen
Scott is trolling.
Stevie C is pretty rational. Stephen C is usually pretty rational. But the whole idea that people feel as if, well, Will Stein's going to come in and going to have 3,000 because he's had 3,000 quarterbacks every year in the Big Ten and other conferences. I would love for that to happen. If that happens, more powers to you. Kudos, and we going to be off and running. The one thing people are missing, we played 3 cupcakes that got a lot of those numbers that we put up in Louisville. So if we only playing two cupcakes in Louisville, if they put 50 points up in those 2 cupcake games, for us to beat 30, we're going to have to stay around just 21 points a game, which will be fine. And we'll still be just about where we were under the Stoops era. So all we're doing is trying to be realistic. If you tune into this show, no, I don't know Vondre and Scott are probably just trolling. If you tune into this, we're just being realistic. It ain't nothing about us. Hey, nobody wants to see Kentucky win more than us. But we're not going to just argue. We're not going to just ignore elephants in the room. Go ahead. Are you asking something?
No, I'm just look. This is how I do that. Since I don't watch the games, I'm looking. Because I'm just looking at what games did their quarterback last year have numbers, right? Because if we just count numbers, let's see what they did last year. And I want to see Dante Moore's game log. I'm getting there. Because Dante Moore had the games I saw, I kind of like what I saw. Not going to lie. But I'm just going to look at his numbers against the good teams. Because here is their schedule. Montana State, Oklahoma State, Northwestern, Oregon State, Penn State, Indiana, Rutgers, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, USC, Washington, James Madison, Texas Tech. Well, James Madison, that's the end of the season. I'm not going to go to the playoffs. So I'm looking at the low yards. He had 178 against Northwestern, which is a good game, though, 80%. He had 186 against Indiana, so that's the national champion. 186, a touchdown, 2 picks. That's against a good team. Wisconsin, he was just off. I don't know, it might have been a cold. No, it was October. Couldn't have been that bad. It might have been rain. Now, here's another good team, another defensive team. Iowa, 61%, 112 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. I mean, against the good teams,
I don't think we need to prove. I don't think we need to prove what's not going on. Let's get back to assessing some of the words. Because I'm saying, and I started this whole thing. I started the whole thing saying my faith is being shaken because what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing ain't matching. And our fan base, y'all can stay, because all y'all who want to Stoops gone, not having a problem with y'all want Stoops gone. I absolutely, like I just said, I think the job had worn on him, or he just didn't want to do the job no more. He wasn't doing the job at the level he was being paid to do. Let's get him out of here. Let's move him on. But coming in to say all these 3-star athletes we brought in that were probably formerly 4 or 5-star athletes who endured injury during their prior locations. Okay, I'm giving CJ Baxter, I'm giving these guys a second chance when they come over, Nick and those guys. But now they ain't ready, so we expect them to be ready in 30 days? I'm just saying, we just being realistic. You tune in here to hear realistic. Why do we have to troll y'all? Y'all are the fans who feel as if, oh, this is gonna happen because of this. Like Van talks about it all the time. Football, man, you really can't do because this happened. This is gonna happen because he's a quarterback whisperer. He's gonna come here. Tim Couch was the national player of the damn year coming to Kentucky. I don't know if Elliott Hughes knew that or not. I don't know, or don't know if he cared or not. He knew it so much to the tune of losing his damn job because he was gonna run his offense because it worked with Cordell Stewart. That's fine. I'm gonna move on. But if you tune in here, we're gonna entertain you. So I'm gonna entertain your thoughts and your comments just because you comment. And I want you to be part of the show. But we ain't gonna spend a lot of time on it because if you think we trolling, absolutely not. You tune in here to your honest opinion. Your opinion ain't no different than mine. Y'all's opinion is no better than mine. My opinion ain't no better than yours. Whichever one's more realistic probably wins out. Go ahead, man.
I will say this. Bo Nix and Dillon Gabriel balled out. Didn't matter what defense they played. They balled out. Dante last year had some problems, but Bo Nix and Dillon Gabriel, they putting up close to 300 every game. So we'll see. We'll see. I am interested. And here's the crazy part, Aaron. A couple of days ago, I said we were gonna win a game. I'm on record.
I was getting convinced, man. That's what these jokers don't understand. We have both been getting a little bit more convinced and getting. Now all of a sudden, media day comes.
Yep.
And the coach speaks like, damn, wait a minute. So everybody, the reasons we expected us to have a high-powered offense. Now here, hold on, let me pause you because I keep echoing, but here's the thing, and I'm gonna leave it at this. This is last negative thing I'm gonna say, or thing that you won't like. I ain't consider negative. I think is realistic. Here's the damn thing: if you come in and your motherfucking slogan is "Feed the Studs," and your one stud is injured, man, get out my face. Go ahead, Van. And I think Will can do it. He probably, and I have no question, he can manipulate defenses and create mismatches where he can move the ball and move the chains. That's all you have to do to win the game. But for me to put any type of thing that I value on it, nope, can't do it. Can't coach with him. Can't play with him. Can't win with him. Can't do it.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm on record saying it in the past. I think this offense can put up 30 points a game. I really do.
They should be able to wake up and do that.
I'm not sure this defense can give up less than 30 points a game.
Sheesh. Dang, that's a little disrespectful.
That's just real. I don't think this defense can.
I'll give you that, Scott.
I don't know. You just made me laugh. Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Go listen to KSR, Evandre. Continue listening to KSR.
Oh, good question, Sean. What other about it? Evandre, you were okay until you said other programs don't speak like this about their team. You were okay until you said that. Steve, that is a great question because that does make a difference. When those bye weeks, I think one of them is late. Is it prior to the Tennessee game?
That sounds about right. Hold on, let me get on him.
Yes, Vanderbilt to Tennessee is a bye week. That's all bye week.
That should be good for us.
Yeah, that, and we should beat Vandy. We should beat Vandy. No doubt about it.
We only got one?
Yeah, I only got one because, we only get one.
Sheesh.
You know what? The only problem with the schedule to me is having to play Alabama, Texas A&M 2 and 3. That's a problem. But then you got a bye week playing South Alabama.
Hold on. The element of surprise don't make you optimistic. The element of surprise, one, freshness, two. Now, mind you, they're gonna be fresh too. Yeah, but I think we're gonna have more of an element of surprise for us.
Okay, and here's what element of surprise do you get in today's game when I can go look at him when he was at UTSA? I can look at him when he's at Oregon. Like, he ain't that different. The only thing different is we are closer to the skill level. We are better than UTSA skill level, but we're also not playing the team that UTSA played.
Hold on, Van. Here we go. Here's the thing. I think lightweight. Let me mute you a second. Take yourself off mute when you're ready to speak, so I don't want to echo. Here's the thing. When you play Madden, if I can just dive on you, get 5 yards every time, or you just run the same thing. If you play in a conference like the Big Ten or any other conference, and you could just run fade routes or just moss people, that's different. And this is the one thing I'm hanging on to. I think because Sonny Dykes was successful at doing it, Tony Franklin was successful at doing it. Mike Leach, in a sense, but Hal Mummy's success didn't come from deep passes. People don't realize it didn't come from deep passes. It just comes from doing mismatches. It came from getting mismatches and putting people on islands. So I think when I'm saying I don't think people, you go back and watch that film, Stein doesn't have the guys to run fade routes. Just like there's certain people, you can run Craig on a 5-yard hitch and get 20 yards because you're going to give him cushion. And you always say, you don't want to run him by you. So give me 5 yards. And he said that. That's what I was trying to get to when he said that in here. Look, man, we don't want big chunks. Give me 2nd and 8 any day rather than 2nd and 12. Give me 2nd and 8 rather than 2nd and 12. So, and I've been saying all along, just give me 3 yards. Point is, I don't think the film that they're going to watch in him, because he don't have the people he had at Oregon and San Antonio. So, I think you semi-right, and that's probably why he's keeping things close to the vest. That if they don't know who's going to be lining up on Saturday, what they going to see against you might be able to hold people out against Youngstown if you want to. Hold Barnes out another week. See what Martell's can do. See what Patterson can do with getting a couple more numbers, getting a couple more reps. But I do think the element of surprise is going to be bigger for us in those first, playing them earlier, and we're going to be fresh. But like you said, I think on the other end of the spectrum, you got to be able to stop them as well.
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. That's why you all this talk before the season, all this talking season is ridiculous. We sell sheep. We shall see. We shall see.
You want
No.
What?
No.
You're a sucker, man. Because he's from Ohio. You're a sucker.
I don't want to back.
Why?
Not about. And I'm shocked that you want to back. What did you say when Will Levis and Galloway came? How dare you bring someone off the street to come in and take the place of your players? And what did he do to earn this spot? You just automatic NIL money, just give him the spot? It's the same thing. Afari hasn't been with this group since he left in December. So now, he ain't coming back unless he starts.
No, if he ain't got nowhere to play.
And he's not coming back. How dare you put me behind some? I'm Alex Afari.
So you just gonna hang up cleats up. So you gonna pull what's his name? You gonna pull a Boom.
No.
Hang your cleats up.
No, Afari, I'm saying as a coach and as teammates, I don't want him back. And it's not that he can't help us. Anthony, can you imagine what that linebacker room would look like if that MFer comes and he's a starting whatever?
Nobody said he has to start, but if he's not picked up by a team or he's not getting a whole lot of interest, come back for another year.
So it goes back to this. First of all, NIL money is already allocated, so he ain't gonna get much money.
Any money as opposed to what part of $0 do you not understand? Zero opportunity to play and $0.
So he's gonna come here. He ain't gonna get as much money as he got last year. Second of all, his disruption to that room is of much more detriment than it is if he comes and plays halfway well.
Well, so it's not so much the edge because they run different looks. Like they run a whole lot of different looks. And what they're trying to do, so since you guys are trolling again, when you watch the games, you see how small our lineups are on the field because where's our base? Like a 3-4? 3-3? No, that's like a 3-3.
3-3 stack? Yeah, whatever. Same thing.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So Afari can rush. He's big enough to rush. He's decent enough to cover. I think, like I said, I think he would be a problem. I think he'd be a problem coming off the edge.
All right, let me. I'm not saying Afari couldn't be a good player for us. All I'm saying is, at this time, it is just as bad as bringing 2 JUCO players in July. You're going to bring Alex Afari in August and try to infuse him into a locker room in a room that is going to look sideways at it.
I think you read too much into it. Okay. You're saying
you're right.
And if he's not playing somewhere, bring him in. If he's not playing somewhere, bring him in. You're saying you don't want him being part of the locker room, and you don't think he should start. If he's not playing somewhere, you act like you are totally against bringing him in.
Yeah, I'm ready to stick with the guys that they went to spring football with.
You can still stick with those guys. If he wants to come back because he doesn't have a shot at the NFL, you saying you won't bring him back for all these weird reasons. The locker room's going to be.
Weird reason? How's that weird though?
Because man, if you're not playing, you just look for an opportunity to play, whether you're a backup or not.
Anthony, how is that weird though? You talk about how dare they bring in Will Levis in here and start?
No, listen. If somebody who started for you last year and was productive wants to come back, even if you don't start them, you know what he has. Like, why would you not bring him back? I'm not saying starting. You act like you don't want him back at all. I'm just saying he should have an opportunity to come back if he wants an opportunity. He hasn't done anything to tell me he can't have an opportunity to come back.
Well, we just differ. I'm not bringing him back.
Okay, we stand on opposite sides.
Yeah, I'm not bringing him back. I don't think he brings. All right, who would I bring back? If he was Josh Allen, I'm bringing him back because I think everybody would say he's better than all of us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Who else could they bring? Benny Snell or C-Rod. If they bring back Benny Snell, C-Rod, and they put up X amount of yards.
No, man.
See? That's what I'm saying. I knew I was going to find somebody. I just found it early.
No.
So, if they bring back Wan'Dale Robinson, what is
those guys are playing on Sundays?
No,
I'm saying the exception of somebody not playing on Sundays, bring them back.
Okay.
That's started.
Hypothetically speaking.
So okay. So Ty Bryant wants to come back next year. You're not taking him back either, right?
It's a good question. No.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm not.
What are you saying?
I'm not.
Go ahead.
If you bring Ty Bryant back in January, it's cool. Anthony, what happens on every Monday in the NFL?
I don't know.
They bring in people off the street for a trial.
I didn't know that was a Monday thing. I thought that was
it was a Monday. Every Monday. Every day you are. Yeah, Monday's your day off. Every Monday they bring in shit. And I was one of the Monday guys. They bring you in, they work your ass out, see if you're ready, and you're on their list. This ain't the NFL yet. That infusing, it just, for me, I can't imagine, and I'm trying to figure out what would happen. I'm trying to, even though it doesn't work like this, I can't imagine my sophomore year, right? Coach Smith comes to me and says, you got to get ready for your sophomore year to start. So no extracurriculars, focus on getting better. And then Willie Cannon comes back in August of my year. I'm starting and I'm getting all the reps. Now Willie Cannon shows up in the room. What the hell? No,
I don't care. You know how many people? So you know how many people they bring in every year that they're expecting to replace you with?
Okay, let me say it like this: win a lot. What is Alex Afari a difference maker?
In the right system?
No. I'm just want your initial thought. Is Alex Afari a difference maker? Right, and they ain't coming, mate.
because he switched positions last year.
Now, so again, I
would love him in the 3-3. I would love him in the 3-3, 3-3-5.
To play what?
Huh?
To play which position?
Outside.
The stack linebacker?
You gotta be able to get to the quarterback, and you gotta be able to cover. You gotta be able to do both. And I think he's tenacious enough to do both. So you do realize that the defense is going to be a gambling ass defense. You got to have somebody who ain't too light in the ass, but somebody who can also cover or drop without getting ran by.
All right.
Let's move on.
All right.
Let's move on.
Just guys that initially will not be involved in practice and then are getting back. Nick Anderson, he's working back into full speed work. Had a really good summer. Vontae Barnes as well. Jaden Smith is in that same category. Sam Green, to me, he's looking great. Expecting him to be a factor for us on defense this year. And then Tegra had a minor procedure. He'll be back within the next week or so. So nothing that is a major season-ending setback. But I just wanted to point those guys out because I know everybody in this room will probably be at our practice on Thursday and want to give you guys a little bit before you even get out there. But very excited, obviously, about the opportunity to go out there with this 2026 Kentucky Wildcat football team. And with that, I'll just open it up.
Court decision.
We're back to the original statement. So before y'all get to see this shit, let me tell y'all real quick what's going on here.
Can you start that over at the beginning again? I don't know if you can find a spot that you stopped at last time, because I want to hear the thing about Nick Anderson again.
In Colorado on Friday, are you all?
He'll be back within the involved in practice and then are getting back. Nick Anderson, he's working back into full speed work. Had a really good summer. Vontae Barnes as well. Jaden Smith is in that same category. Sam.
Okay. Did we see Nick Anderson in spring? See,
maybe they didn't get full contact
because Nick Anderson had an injury. I know in the middle in the LSU season last year. So here's the concerning part. So we didn't see him in the spring, right?
We didn't see him in live.
Okay.
We didn't see him.
Right.
Now, maybe he was protected.
Well, whatever it is. But he had a good summer. But he's hurt now, though. How can you have a good summer, Anthony?
Don't piss Bondre off, man.
When you're hurt right now. So first of all, Nick Anderson came here injured because I think he injured his knee or ankle or something at LSU. I know he injured himself last year. I know 100% sure he injured himself last year. And I don't know, it's like week 8, 7, 1, I don't know. But I know LSU because it was talked about a lot here. So he got hurt, and it was a serious enough injury where he didn't play the rest of the season.
Right.
All right. So coming into the spring, I knew he was hurt. Or he was recovering from whatever it is. I don't know the exact details of the injury, but there was a serious enough injury where he was hurt. All right.
Right.
So he comes to UK knowing that he probably not going to do spring because he's just coming off an injury. I don't know if he requires surgery or not, but you can't put that dude back in when it's his money. His legs are his money. Okay? I have no problem holding him out spring. I have no problem holding him out summer. Let's start him somewhere, like hopefully start him the first day of fall camp. But what I am concerned with now is the wording of that saying that he had a good summer. What does that mean? Was he just lifting well, upper body stronger? Because he didn't participate in spring full contact. He's not participating in fall right now full contact. How can he have a great summer?
I don't know.
Because this is part of summer, right?
They finished now.
Yeah, right. And he ain't practicing. Unless you tell me he got hurt yesterday. Well, it wasn't yesterday. This was a couple days ago. He got hurt the day before media day, and now he came. He had a great summer, and now the day before he got hurt.
I think that he was asked about the running back room, and that's how he came up with Jason Patterson and Martell's, which kind of something. Let me get to it, man. Hold on, let me get back to it.
Green, to me, he's looking great. Expecting him to be a factor for us on defense this year. And then Tegra had a minor procedure. He'll be back within the next week or so. So nothing that is a major season-ending setback. But I just wanted to point those guys out because I know everybody in this room will probably be at our practice on Thursday and want to give you guys a little bit before you even get out there. But very excited, obviously, about the opportunity to go out there with this 2026 Kentucky Wildcat football team. And with that, I'll just open it up.
This latest court decision in Colorado on Friday, are you all looking at any fifth-year guys still at this point? How does that process play out?
Yeah, John, we are looking to enhance our roster all the time through high school recruiting, portal recruiting, junior college. If there's a 5-for-5 option that we believe that can make us better, we're going to attack it full force. So I think it's still a wait and see. People are not quick to act just because it's something that's reported on Twitter, and there's some judges that are ruling in favor of student athletes getting their fifth year back. But anytime that we can enhance our roster, I'm going to be full steam ahead.
Well, speaking of enhancing the roster, you recently added a couple of JUCO running backs. Can you talk about the reasoning behind that, what you liked about them, and what the state of the linebacker is?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of what I just mentioned about having strength in numbers. Last season at Oregon, we went through and played about 6 running backs. So I love 2-back sets. I love the ability to use those guys out of the backfield. And both those players, if they would have been able to come out in January, would have had a multitude of offers throughout the entire country. I think they're both really good players. They're young, and they got a bright future ahead. So we wanted to again, exhaust everything that we can to keep enhancing this roster, regardless of availability of players. I thought those two could make us better.
Saving money feels right. Just like when things are tidy and tight. Get auto insurance that fits your budget and your
attention with your "because of me" comment at the media days. Were you surprised by that? And are you glad that kind of was a headline across the country?
I mean, I'm not surprised about the attention. I mean, that was, a statement that, I still think what I was able to see, Matt, from a winning standpoint at Oregon, what I've been a part of my entire life. And then when you couple that with the coaches I was able to add to this first year at Kentucky, the players we were able to add, that to me is our winning edge. And, but I'm not necessarily surprised, that it got that type of attention. But, I know more than anything, it's about the people in our organization. And that's really important to me, more than me.
You had a change in your front office last week. Did you anticipate that move at all, and why the decision to quickly promote Pete to GM?
Yeah, I mean, I've known Pete since I was 18 years old. He's he's a Lexington guy, born and bred. Dad played here. Dad was a high school principal in Lexington. And Pete is somebody, when I initially got here, he was one of my first calls. And so Pete could be a GM across all of college football. He's very smart. He's extremely well organized. And he played football. I think that's really important at the GM role. It's not a necessity, but when you play the game, when you've coached the game at a high level, he was a quick move up. And so just like anything in life, the sun rose the next day, and we put our best foot forward to continue to make Kentucky football the best it possibly can. So really excited about Pete and his opportunity, and build personnel department even more now.
Did you decide on a full-time position for Martellus Carter? Is he going to be a running back?
Yeah, he'll be a running back.
Coach, you guys have had success at the quarterback position everywhere you've been since being an offensive coordinator. What attributes do you think that Kenny Minchey has that fits so well into your offense and just one's offense that maybe enlightens other fans on some of those attributes?
Well, just tangibles. I mean, he's really accurate. He throws on time. He's got great feet, and he's mobile. I think those are critical factors in successful quarterbacks in today's modern football. Intangibles, loves the game, high football IQ, great leader. So I'm excited about Kenny and what he's going to be able to do for us this season. It's obviously his first opportunity. So will there be hiccups? I'm sure there will. There's opportunities to improve after every single game, not just from a player's perspective, but even from a coach and a game manager's perspective, like I'll be doing. So, he's got all the support in the world from his teammates and from his coaches, and excited about his opportunity.
When you delete your quarterback, are you more curious about what they do really well and growing up, or how they react when things go wrong for you?
I think it's all encompassing. We obviously want to run the schemes and the plays that fit them. But whenever you fail, there's an opportunity for growth. And so not just at the quarterback position, but every position. And on Sundays after games, we'll what we call go to the doctor, and we'll figure out what we did well, what we didn't do well, and act accordingly to improve our program in all facets. So I think you got to put them in all those positions that you can. You obviously don't want them to fail in games, but some of the biggest learning moments happen within a stadium and not just out at practice. But we'll put him in compromising positions throughout the week to make sure he's ready to handle those moments on Saturdays.
Will, to go back to the fifth-year, is there like NIL money and revenue share money available to bring in good players at this point in a season?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always ways to combat that if we are even given the opportunity. It's just still early in that whole process. I think everybody's figuring it out across college football. I don't think it's as black and white as it might seem. think there's a lot of court rulings that still happen, and injunctions and all those fancy words that, I'm still trying to figure out what it all means. But yeah, I mean, we'll attack those issues when they arise.
Well, you played in a game in this stadium now. We're about a month out from you actually coaching a game. Will there be nerves? Will there be like time of reflection? I mean, it's like your whole life has led you up to this moment.
Yeah, I mean, I have butterflies before every game. Even at my last, I don't know how many stops I've been. I think that's just human nature, and it's not nervous energy because of being unprepared or doubt or fear. It's just the anxiety of getting that ball kicked and starting to play a football game. But it's once you get in the moment, you want to be so laser focused that you're not worried about external factors that ultimately don't matter, like nostalgia or a love of this program. You just have a job to do, and that's what's most important. So will there be emotions as I run out? I mean, as of now, I haven't even really tried to think about that. I've thought about what I'm doing today to get ourselves in a better position than I was yesterday. But I'm sure there'll be some of those.
So, Coach, as a former player here in Kentucky, how are you ensuring 100% buy-in and not just compliance from your team?
I've talked about this a lot. It's about connection. That's number one. You have to know the guys next to you. In the day and age of college football where we added 45 new players, you have to start there with, I know the man to my left and right story. I know where they're from. I know the people in their story. I know adversity that's hit in their story. I know great moments in their life, bad moments in their life. And I feel like we've gone through a lot together in our 7 months, and there'll be plenty of more moments for us to go through things together. But connected teams are tough to beat. And, I think that buy-in to each other is where it all starts.
Attention retirees, if you're willing to be at your computer from 9 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. on most
No, we're not.
weekdays, I can show
Go.
Coach, with all the new players on your roster, but given how quickly other teams across the country, with those vast majority of new players have played for championships, is the word championship when it comes to the SEC talked about within your program this year?
No, we just talk about our process. I mean, we just talk about what we have to do every single day to be our very best and let the results speak for themselves. So we're still trying to master that. And we'll have to reteach some things as we start practice, just because it's been a little bit since we've been out there with helmets and then eventually shoulder pads and full gear, and how to stay up, how to stay off the quarterback, how to run from drill to drill. But my hope is that throughout the last 8 weeks in summer that we're prepared for practice and that we can go out there and play our best football early in the year. But we don't necessarily talk about that. I mean, it's not that it's just a hidden message. We obviously have goals and aspirations, but you have to master the mundane, the little things every single day to even give yourself a chance at those moments.
Quarterback options at this point?
I feel good. I feel, who we've added to the roster and being able to get Callum in there and Matt and, coupled with Brennan and Ja'Kai. I mean, I think it's going to be a battle. There's been nothing given in that room. So we're excited about those guys to go out there and compete.
You probably knew more about the program than most new coaches coming here. But having been here, I'm sure you've seen different things. Is there anything that's been maybe more positive than you thought it would be, or is more of a challenge than you thought it would be in Kentucky specifically?
That's a good question. You don't understand completely how much everybody cares about football until you get here. And everywhere I go, people are so excited about Kentucky football. That to me was very exciting, especially coming from where I was just at. And then previously coaching in the state of Texas, where football truly is religion. So that's been very positive. The support from our fans, has been incredible. So that's something I guess I knew, but when you get in this chair, you're like, wow. I mean, I'm across the country. I'm traveling, whether it's for recruiting or just even the last couple of weeks with my family. And I mentioned this, recently, that I was in Key West, and the guy behind the counter was giving me a rental car, was a Kentucky grad, and was excited about Kentucky football, and then gave me a blue minivan to drive around the Keys. So that's what I think. Not it's surprising, but it's just reassuring that I'm in the right spot.
Well, you obviously have family ties and you have a Kentucky fan, but you have a lot of guys on your staff who don't have that background. They play in Louisville. Is this transition, you think, weird for those guys?
No, I mean, this is our profession. This is what we do for a living. And ultimately, wherever you coach, wherever you go, in our mind, so ingrained in that team and what it takes to win, because this is how we feed our families. So the alliance is 150,000% to the University of Kentucky, because it keeps our lights on and it keeps our kids fed and allows us to send our kids to good schools and allows our wives to be happy. And so that's what I think all of our guys on our staff are all about.
What is for you from a first full camp? What for you? What do you want to see from your team to have a successful camp? What does that look like when y'all start? I guess we want prep.
I thought you were going to ask me the same question you asked me before. Yeah, I know. No, I love y'all's questions. They're all great. You asked what I need to see from our team. now compared to what we
Just like for you, what has been one thing you want to see? Like when you all break camp, what do you want to see your team grow?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mentioned this before. Can we learn how to not beat ourselves before the play? Meaning, can we align properly out of the huddle or in a tempo situation? Can our defense get lined up? That is huge. I know that seems like elementary and little league, but that has to happen. We have to be masters of the details. And when you have a winter walk, you have spring football, you have summer. Now we're in the fall camp. Like I mentioned, this is fourth time through our install. Our guys now need to be ahead of the curve where we're not teaching basic alignment. So I want to make sure that is as important as how we take the field is our execution and detail of our offense, defense, and special teams.
Coach, how much have you leaned on him for support and advice going into the season?
He's always very supportive. He doesn't ever try to call a play or tell me what to do. He's just there for support, like you just asked. So, it's obviously very exciting because of his ties to this university and his former teammates. But he's a dad, and he's been that way forever.
Coach Jay Bateman was able to do some really good things over at Texas A&M, specifically with the safeties. How nice is it to have a guy like Ty, a guy like Jordan leading the way, and just talk about their skill set and how maybe they complement each other? Yeah, both are outstanding football players that played thousands of snaps in this conference. Ty being an all-SEC performer last season. Jordan's played over 2,000 snaps in the SEC himself. So, our safeties are really good players. Jay does an excellent job, with our entire defense, but even specifically with CY as coaching the safeties, who's been with Jay before at multitude of stops. So excited about all those guys, and our back end is strong.
Will you embrace the challenge of an SEC schedule on multiple occasions? But it seemed like back in the day, like when your dad played, you play your non-conference games and work your way up to the SEC. Well, now you all throw away the fire really early. What are your thoughts? I know you can't control it. Just on the calendar, the way it's constructed, there's little room for error.
Well, yeah, we have an in-state rival that, the TV wants everybody to face at the end of the season. So, like you mentioned, I think it probably used to be more non-conference than you just go around your conference, but there's stuff with the TV that is for sure out of my control. And there's, I don't know how many teams in the SEC have an in-state rival that's out of conference, but we're one of them. And so that puts them at the end. But, you can control what you can. And they say we're playing on September 5th at 1:00 against Youngstown State. So I know I'll be here for that game. And that's all I can control right now.
How important is it to have that steady presence of Colton at center for what you're going to do on offense?
Very important. Colton Price is as good of a center as I've been around. We obviously haven't gone through a game yet, but just how he prepares, his mentality, his physicality, his athleticism, consistency. He's a pro in every sense of the word. And so I'm very thankful that we have Colton because he really anchors that unit.
How much of this head coaching gig so far had you kind of scripted out in your head in advance or planned out, and what kind of audibles have you had up to this point?
Yeah, that's a good question, Eric. I think, you always have this vision and plan, but it definitely does change throughout the course of even a day. You have a schedule set and you got to go patch this hole over here and patch this hole over here, but that's what you sign up for. It's not just calling plays or the football, it's everything else. And so I've already had to call audibles, and we've changed somewhat of, how this fall camp is going to go based on our spring, based on our player load, stuff that we did with our sports science department that has given me some better direction, this current team. And so it's different than what I learned, not entirely, but from what we did at Oregon last year during this time. Like we did 4 practices in a row last year, and I cut it to 3 just because as you get to that 4th practice in a row, that's when soft tissue happens. So we've adapted in that sense already. And then our model for practice is going to be 3 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off. And so we're going to keep that throughout fall camp. But I'm willing to adjust and adapt because that's what you have to do as a coach. You can't just say we're going to do it just because this is how it's always been. You have to see where your team is, meet them somewhere in the middle to still create toughness and get the reps that you need to go execute.
Come out of spring with anything, maybe not necessarily a concern, but something that you thought had to be addressed real early in camp?
I don't know. I think you still are trying to fight and see what happens throughout summer. So I wouldn't say there was like some major concern. Obviously backup quarterback, we added somebody after the spring just because I like having arms. I've been in situations where you don't have a guy that's necessarily ready to go into the game, and then you look up and you're in a bad position. So we added people there. We actually, obviously you already asked about the running backs. We added spots there. So there's certain depth at certain positions that you look at, but there's only one portal window now, so you can't add people to the roster like you could a few years ago in May, which I like. I like one portal window, but there's some depth at certain positions that you look at. You're like, okay, can we hold up throughout the season? And that's where I have to do a good job of how we practice and to make sure that we're in a good spot.
What are the expectations for DJ?
My expectations for DJ is to turn the page. Like, you're not a young player anymore. Your job is to go out there and compete at the highest level of college football. He's got the height, weight, speed. DJ's biggest roadblock is himself. He's got to go out there and perform. And that's what I challenge him to do every single day, is to be a pro. If you want to be a pro, you got to act like it. You got to be a guy that practices different than everybody else. And you can't be afraid to make mistakes. Go out there and cut it loose. And so I'm really excited about him. He obviously has the ability. He's got to continue to push himself to limits that he's never been pushed. And so that's what fall camp's about for him too. But my expectation for him is to go out there and be a guy for us.
Outside of his fan base is talking about your situation at Key West. Obviously, this being a foundational year for your program, just what do you want the fan base to say after the end of the year? Obviously, you want to win, but just what do you want them to know and see about this?
Just like every year in ball, I want them to see a team that gets better from week 1 to week 12, like truly improves. And that has been at every stop I've ever been. So this isn't just based off a projection that everybody's telling us how good we are or how not good we are. If you can get better literally every single day and every single week, that to me shows sustainability of a program, buy-in from the players, and it's going to result in winning football. And so that is what I want our fans to see more than anything. A team that gets better every single week, and then a team that just cuts it loose and plays with relentless effort and plays for one another.
Thanks, folks.
All right. Thank you.
Coach Sloan in.
There you have it. Lordy, hold on. How do I get me back on there? There we go. Yeah, so why am I echoing today all of a sudden? I've never had.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know why.
Huh. Yeah. So I don't know. Your thoughts? Uh-oh.
My thought is this, and I think it's highly important that we have key players that are not available at the start of fall camp. With a new regime, new coach, new scheme, new system, as he said, knowing what your teammates, knowing the things your teammates are going through, all this stuff, how important that is important to know how that guy next to you is going to play on certain plays and where. That's important to know how people adjust their routes when I haven't thrown to them in spring, haven't thrown to them in the summer, haven't thrown to them at the start of fall camp. This is not Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, who can throw to me, run a 6-flat 40, and they can still give me the ball because they don't care because they're at that level. I think having a first-year starter and guys not available is concerning. Like I said, I think I need to look up the word concerning and get what that means. It's not the end of the world, but it's concerning. If I can't see how it's like Anthony. We talked about last couple of years when man, I'm getting old now. When Deion Walker wasn't available, we were concerned. He's not participating in spring football. We are concerned.
Right.
Those concerns proved true as last year here.
Yep.
All right. So I'm concerned about the DBs being put on islands. Now, although Coach said that playing press man is like salt, it tastes good on everything, but it eventually is going to kill you. So maybe all of those words that have been permeating from fandom about how we're going to play defense, maybe it's not exactly what we're going to do. So, but if we did that, I'm concerned. We have had a conversation about one of the players on defense that came from Florida, and we had a conversation about that. That's concerning. I'll say this. I feel better about the coaches than I feel about the players.
And that's where my hope lies. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hope.
Right? So it's like, I'm in with this. because I'm not going to talk around in circles with this. I will keep saying this until I'm no longer on this earth. Average players make elite coaches look like shit.
Yeah. That's why Steve walked away from the game.
Elite players make average coaches look like Hall of Famers for at least a season. Did Gene Chizik look like the future Nick Saban? I'm just throwing it, but when Cam Newton was at Auburn and they won a national championship, did Gene Chizik look like, oh, he got it figured out? Guess what happened the next year? No Cam Newton. What happened to him?
Right.
He was out of there.
Right.
Yeah, out of here. So all I'm saying is that's for me. I think this coaching staff, I'll say this. I know the offensive coaching staff is good. And I feel comfortable saying the majority of the defensive staff, the ones that I know and have credible resources say they are good coaches, I'm confident that they're good.
Right.
I think the cornerback coach is really good. He can't play on Saturdays, though.
Right.
So we'll see. Proof is in the pudding.
I'll say two things, and I knew I was going to do that. I was going to lose my point. I'll say two things. One, the year we went into the spring and didn't have any defensive linemen, and we had to have offensive linemen moving people over. That was the beginning of our demise.
Yeah.
People were saying, well, the year before that. No,
right.
That year was the 4-win season.
Yes. Facts.
So, like you said, the players not, and I think, and to me, I thought part of it was because players didn't want to strain and grind, and the coach didn't make them. So when it came time you play on Saturdays in the fall, everything wasn't there. Like everything wasn't there. That same mentality of, well, I'm only doing this many reps, or I'm on a pitch count, came into play. So I'm with you. And then the second thing I want to say, Bondre and Scott, all y'all actually, keep the same damn energy throughout the season. The optimism, keep it no matter what. Because Van just pointed out, Mark Pope came in, one of us, said all the right things. And now the crazy thing is, for me, I don't think that Stein doubled down on anything he said at SEC Media Day. He looked more like a DB than a quarterback. Well, we just want to win. We want to get better, a little bit better every week. No. So we're trying to win the SEC. And for a while, he was saying, I came here to compete for championships. Said that. And I have no problem. But the people who are saying we are trolling and all this other stuff, keep that same energy when certain things happen. Or if they're running, don't say, if we would have had this person. I mean, the same thing we went through in basketball without having JQ and
JQ. Yeah.
I mean, now Pope got to be on the hot seat because he didn't have a starting point guard and starting center.
Right.
I'm saying it's just real. It's just realistic stuff, man. But like I said, if the coach is doing, like you said, the coach is going to do their thing, they can put us in position. I'm going to really just, like you said, just everything I'm seeing and everything we hearing, I ain't got a ton of reason to believe that we're going to do something like out of, I mean, just kind of over. I don't think we're going to overreach, or we ain't going to overachieve. But I don't know, it's just something in the back of my mind, which I ain't gonna say it too much publicly. It's something in the back of my mind that thinks Stein might be that dude. Like he may be able to pull up enough points. And Jay Bateman may be able to get exotic enough to, because, well, you know what? We just thought about it. Mississippi State wasn't that successful with that exotic stuff either. Sometimes you just gotta be a bully. And for a long time, that front seven, we were bullies until we wasn't. that spring where we didn't have any all our defensive line was banged up. I blame the damn D line coach. I'm just playing. Vondre, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna put you on mute, man. There's nothing for me to gain by Kentucky losing. Nothing for me to gain. And I like Will Stein as a person. I like the family. I like what he does. I like his offense. But also knows he needs studs for his offense to look good. But that's neither here nor there. So we're gonna get up out of here, man. I don't know. Camp's right around the corner, man.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
All the talking's gonna be over. I hope everything does turn out good, man. I just know how our fan base is. Don't jump on here if things don't go the way we want and start beating the head coach up or any of the players. Just realize it's gonna be a learning curve. Or like I said, we might come out and be successful. And you come out and say, "Yeah, I told you we were gonna win 8 games." That's fine. Shit, I'm gonna be just as happy as you are. But gotta be a little bit realistic. Considering all the injuries we got, that's gonna be tough to overcome. But hell, maybe none of them are really serious. So we appreciate y'all, man. Everybody who joined in, everybody had positive and non-positive comments to say, supportive and non-supportive comments to say. We enjoy y'all, man. We enjoy y'all every week, man. So like, subscribe, share, follow, leave comments, and come back next week. We should know a little bit more because camp is going to be started. And Steven, I'm gonna think we're gonna beat Bama. I'm gonna give us that. I think Bama having the same. Well, I don't know about the injuries, but they have unknowns. And one thing about it is, I don't know if theirs are injury. I don't know their injury report. If we didn't have an injury report, I would stand on business, Stephen C, and say, yeah. Only reason I got pause right now is because our injury report looks grim in key positions. Nah. Gonna be tough to overcome. But if will is will, then that's the deal. We'll be back next week. Like, subscribe, share, follow on all social media platforms. We'll be back next week.